Alright, I'm going to do Blackbeard. This is the Avalon Hill game. I believe it was redone by GMT, although I think the new edition is significantly different from this edition. It's a game I got back when I was a teenager, um, and I played pretty much always solo. I think I played a couple of two-player games, but never have played like the full three or four players. I think I played with my brother or one of my friends once. A game I was very intrigued by, a game that is very frustrating in terms of the rules. But still, I worked through it even when I was, I don't know, 16 or 17 or 15, however old I was. I wasn't very old at the time. This is a game of piracy. So you have Pirates of the Caribbean, right? We got mainly in the Caribbean, but we also have some of the Gold Coast of Africa and the Indian Ocean. And there's kind of a movement system where you can move between the different areas that takes a while to do. But anyway, I'm going to play a four-player game. I don't think I ever did this before when I was playing. Like I said, I either played the solo variant, or even if I didn't play the solo variant, I maybe played two pirates. I'm going to try and do all four. Game's kind of interesting where it starts, nobody's actually on the board, and this is like the engine of the game is this card deck. So you draw from the card deck, and I did the setup, and these guys are merchant ships. Don't know quite who they are, what they are, but you kind of throw them on the board. You throw some governors on the board, and up here in the Atlantic, there's a pro-pirate governor, which is good, and an anti-pirate governor, which is bad. Well, I should say bad. In the game, you'll be a pirate, but you also generally will get a king's commissioner, which you can use to hunt the other players' pirates. So that can be good for you. There were no governors drawn, I don't think, in the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, however you want to do it. However, it kind of mirrored everything up here. There's a pro-pirate and anti-pirate governor on the Gold Coast, and there is a anti-pirate and pro-pirate governor here in the Indian Ocean. Okay, so, cool thing, you start drawing cards. Nobody knows who they are or what's going on. In the first card, you look at the number of players. I got 4 players, and this says player 2. All right, so player 2 drew a pirate, and there's player 1, here's player 2. They got Christopher Condent, who, the cool thing about this game, or one of the cool things, is you got this really neat biography on the back. I had no idea who this guy was, right? And then I'm reading it, and maybe I did back in 1989 or 90 or whenever this game came out, or when I got it. He was one of the few winners of piracy, and he basically was wealthy, married the governor's daughter, emigrated to France, became a wealthy ship owner. All right. So obviously he's a really good pirate, and they're rated a number of things, and he is a really good pirate. Anyway, I'm going to pull his counter, and I'm going to throw him down the board. Now, where do I want to throw him down? Well, I think over here in the Indian Ocean. And the reason why is, and I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly, is you get more money for merchants over in the Indian Ocean. And there's a pro-pirate governor here, which is good. So if I can, grab one of these merchant ships, take it down, I could get a nice lead. So I'm going to pull his counter out, throw him down, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've gotten his marker here. I've decided to put, this is player 2, Condit, over here in the Indian Ocean. Now, you have an opportunity to choose when you start the game to go with a sloop or a schooner. The sloop is better because you have a better combat rating and the same speed rating. Maybe I'll show that here. So this has 1 less combat. The schooner's advantage is it can evade on a coastal area. And these coastal areas are these like kind of white areas here. rather than the deeper ocean or sea. Generally, though, I don't know. I think it's a better deal to get the sloop, and why is that? Well, like here, I've set Condon up here because I want to take this one, okay, this merchant, and hopefully I can, and I'll have a better chance to do it with a sloop over a schooner. Then I want to go down here and take this merchant, and I'm going to be, I'm not going to be in a coastal region, and the only time I'll get to a coastal region is when I go into port. And so that's the plan with him. This game doesn't have a lot of strategic decisions, or really decisions at all in a lot of ways, but it does have some, and this is one of them: where to set up, where to start. This is his plan. He wants to try and take that merchant, and then he wants to take that merchant, then he wants to go to this pro-pirate port, and he's hoping he'll get a lot of cash out of this. Now, of course, another player could jump down here onto that, and we'll see if that happens. But anyway, that's his plan. He's going to go with the sloop. I think I've started everybody with a sloop, by the way, all 4 players. I may change that if I think somebody will be getting advantage from having a schooner. We'll throw that over there. And that's it. He doesn't get to do anything else because he's just placed. So then we go down, draw a card. And this is player 2 who's drawing it. And we get the 4th player. Okay, 4th player is going to draw a pirate. And we get Edward Lowe. I have no idea who Edward Lowe is. Okay, I don't have most idea who any of these guys is. All right, he has a high cruelty. Oh, boy. But he's, in general, looks like he's much less impressive than Condit. Okay, so player 4 is now in play. Do they want to take a sloop or a schooner? Well, let's see. Now, they could go and try and compete with Condit. I don't think that's a good idea for him. Condit's a better pirate. And there's a lot of merchant ships down the Caribbean. There's 3 right here. Now, there's no pro or anti-pirate ports, so that's all right. So I think player 4, Edward Lowe, we're going to start down here. The question is where, though, and I'm going to think about that for a second, because like I said, there's not a lot of decisions in this game, but there's enough, and especially the opening one is important. All right, so Lowe has decided to also start with a sloop. He decided to start down here. The reason being, if he gets this merchant, there's 2 nationalities that he can go to. There's a bunch of Spanish ports, and there's 1 English port here in Port Royal. So if this is a Spanish merchant, he can go up here, and then hopefully that's also not a British merchant. That'd be bad luck. But if it is, well, that's part of the game. So that's his reasoning. If this is likewise, if this is a British, he can either go up here or, go into port, whatever. I think he thinks that's a little better deal. He could start in the middle there, but I kind of like the idea of him taking that prize, then going up there, and then seeing where he can go. If nothing else, he can go to the pirate port here in Tortuga or up in New Providence. So that's his thinking. All right, and we'll draw our next card. And we get, oh boy, we get a draw new merchant ship. All right, well, that's good for everyone. You got a lot of cups in this card, or this game. But I only do 2. I do the warships and the merchant ships, and then I keep a 3rd one if I need to draw something else, and I'll just throw them in there. Okay. Oh, we don't want to look at that? I didn't see it. Okay, so we've got a new merchant ship, and we'll see where it ends up. It ends up in, what is that? 16. All right. This guy's up here in the Atlantic. That's going to give possibly another player some options. All right, next up, draw a random event. Okay, random events in this game's a lot of shuffling, so it's going to be hard to film. So I'm just going to stop here. Basically, I'm going to reshuffle the deck and then draw a random event. And I'll upload this one, then do another one.